Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's another fabulous business breakfast show from the Chatbox Productions team. It's November the 11th, the 11th of the 11th. And this today at 11 a.m., certainly here in the UK, we'll be having a couple of minutes silence to mark Armistice Day, the day they finally got round to sorting out the end of World War One. I tell you, mate, I was once at Stansted Airport and the 2-minute silence occurred and kind of everybody just stopped in their tracks and had the 2-minute silence. Very, very eerie. Very eerie indeed. How are you, my friend, on this quite grey November morning?
I'm very well. I've put the orange jumper on, trying to brighten up things this morning. As you say, it's a little bit grey and a little bit grim out there, but that's why this is the best place to be on a Thursday morning, because we've got a fantastic show lined up. Some great guests joining us in the studio. We're talking about being grey and grim. Our first guest is coming all the way from Florida. It's going to be dark there at the moment. No doubt it's early hours of the morning. Just gone 3 o'clock, but there's a very good chance that the sun will be shining tomorrow morning. I say when she wakes up, when she gets up after the show and goes outside. But looking really forward to introducing our first guest and learning more about what they've been up to and why they're in Florida as well. So yeah, great week so far. A great late night show last night. Wow, it was an extra special because we went over time a little bit. We allocated a little bit more time because we had so many great guests coming on and sharing their award-winning stories.
Great show, mate. So much energy, so much stuff being shared, and ideas and tips and stories. Just once again, humbled by our lovely guests and how much they're willing to share with our lovely audience. So hello, audience out there. This is all for you. Feel free to get involved. Let us know how you're getting on in the chat section of whatever platform you may be viewing the breakfast show, be it LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Just put a comment in the chat, say hello, say good morning. Feel free to ask questions and of us and our guests. And chances are, very good chance, we'll put your comment on the screen so the world will know who you are and what you're up to.
Just like this. There we go. Good morning, Sharon. Hello. Welcome to the show. Great to have you back. A friend of the show as well. I think Sharon was on earlier this year. I can't quite remember when it was, but certainly earlier on this year.
That looks a nice Facebook photo as well.
It looked lovely there, didn't it? Absolutely. So yeah, as Nick said, get involved. This is your breakfast show. If you've got something you want to share with us, put something you want to put out there to the world, and it is the world that are tuning into this, we'd be more than happy to share. It is just a good morning, a hello like Sharon did, or maybe a question for our guests that are coming on. Because we've got kind of a bit of a mixed up bag this morning. We're talking about technology, applications, business. It's a real kind of mixed up breakfast show, but we're also talking about well-being, health, and nutrition as well. So we're going to kind of go from tech into nutrition, well-being and wealth. I was making a new word up as I went. It's a bit like fucking knocking eye hilly-pillification.
That's very good, mate. Very good summary of what's coming up on the show. Bearing in mind, it wasn't that many hours ago we had a very different summary for the late night show. You are good. You are good.
Oh, on fire this morning. I've got the coffee. That is the key to success on a breakfast show. Right, so we have a look at the papers, Nick. Shall we see what's been happening? What I do notice when I go out there and just have a look at the morning papers, they're all the same. The headlines are pretty much, it's almost like one says, we're going to put this headline, and the other goes, yeah, we like that, we'll copy it. We'll just tweak it and make it our own, so we're not into, copying you directly. But let's have a look what they say this morning. So the Daily Mail, 5.5 million MP with no shame. How Geoffrey Cox lined his pockets as he moonlighted for 10,700 hours on his second job. We'll come back to that. Hold that thought, Nick. I can see you waiting to go on your soapbox. Let's look at the second one. Chief Whip in peril over MP moonlighting whilst in the Caribbean. Why not? And the Daily Mirror, exposed Tory MP's homes greed. Under fire, Cox lets out lets out his taxpayer-funded flats and then rents it back to himself. So, he's making money out of this as well, for a second property. I mean, this is absolutely ludicrous. Going through into the Financial Times, we'll pick up on that in a second. So, Nick, come on your soapbox. Tell us what you think.
I probably think exactly what everyone else thinks. I'm a sensible bloke, right? I get it that if the rules are you can have a second job, have a second job. If I voted for someone and they spent more time in the Caribbean than at home, it wouldn't sit well with me. But for me, I just don't trust them, right? Which is a real shame, okay? Because these are the people making the laws, setting us straight, telling us what we should and shouldn't be doing. In good times and bad, don't trust them. Don't trust them. And it's stuff like this that just reinforces that cynicism, which is a real shame, because I want to trust people in power to do the right thing. And I'm seeing evidence of that's not the case. But it's not like the papers are going to share good news, is it? So all the good stuff that our lovely politicians have done over the past, chances are that doesn't make the front pages. But the bad stuff does. I'm just struggling to trust what I see and what I hear.
And let's probably be, let's try to be a little bit kind of on side with our MPs here. This is talking about one individual. I'm sure there's others, but let's hope the majority are in it for the right reasons. I know some great MPs, and they would literally do what they've got to do, for their constituents, to make it the best place ever. But do you agree with it? Don't you? If you don't agree with it, let us know. What's your thoughts on this? Should a MP be able to go off and have a second job? And having a second job, we're not just talking about, having a little bit of, I'll go off and do something a couple of hours a week, from home or something. I mean, 10,000 7 hours, is quite significant on the scale of things. And obviously using expenses to benefit them and all that. And this is the problem. It comes up time and time again, isn't it? It's not one-off. This isn't.
Another side issue, right, is that the media seem to be absolutely loving causing huge divergence, right? Stir it all up, cause outrage. Great to sell newspapers, all right? The more outrageous, the more likely it is to sell. So a little bit cynical about the media as well.
I got it. So how do we make Chatbox the number one listened to and viewed station? We've just got to be cynical and just sell rubbish. So we've just got to talk about like the media does, just put stuff out there to get people reading and watching.
Plenty of that online elsewhere, if that's what you're looking for. Right? This is all good stuff, right? Yeah. If you want the dross, the tawdry, the all of the grim stuff that steals your eyeballs, plenty of that elsewhere. But if you want the good stuff, real cool value and great conversations, it's the place to be.
It's the place to be. Yeah. Right, let's just pick up on the last two papers I picked up out this morning. The Financial Times. One particular story here. Electric vehicle startup Rivian races on debut and overtakes Ford and GM. Now, I've got the whole story here because I wanted to have a read of this myself. So I have printed it out. But I'm just going to pick out a couple of fundamental issues here. Some of the big stuff, really. When opening on the market value for more than $100 billion, greater than Ford and General Motors. But the other really cool thing I picked up in this story is that rival car maker Ford will hold 12.1% stake post in the IPO worth $8 billion. Ford are not silly. They know they can't compete with some of these startup businesses. So tell you what, we're investing into them. We will have not quite a controlling stake, but 12.1% in a IPO is quite significant. Certainly gives you a little bit of power and sway in that organisation. So clever stuff. I'm going to read more about that later. I'll report more in a future show, especially as I've bought my electric vehicle and I've got a delivery date very soon coming to my front door. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I didn't Microsoft bail Apple out at one point.
Yeah,
have a big investment in Apple, which you think on the surface is a crazy idea. Why support the competition? But in the grand scheme of things, very wise, right? Very wise.
Yeah, Apple were kind of at the point of closing doors. Steve Jobs had that conversation with Bill Gates, and Bill Gates, can't remember the exact value, but put a substantial sum of money in, and look how things turn around. And now Apple is one of, because they're always trading places, the richest companies, most wealthiest companies in the world. So it does show you, doesn't it? A startup can go from zero to hero. And as we saw with Gerald Ratner, from hero to zero very quickly as well. Things can change around very, very quickly. And lastly, in the papers, 2 pints of mojito and a packet of crisps. Cocktail sales surge as we ditch out ales. Nick, what kind of drink are you? An ale man, a wine guy? Are you on, the fancy cocktails? What takes your fancy?
I'm not. Well, I like a lager, right? But I like a real ale as well. I like a drink with flavour. All right, I don't mind a cocktail, but I wouldn't choose it over a pint of something really with real body, real flavour to it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very similar. I'm into the Belgian beers recently. Something with
Nice,
a little bit of punch to it. Not too many, because otherwise, it's all over Casanova. Just one or two. Very, very nice. And of course,
it's all over Casanova. I've not heard that before. I know where you're going with it, but I've not heard that phrase before.
Oh, there's another great phrase which I've dug up from history.
Dear me. Hashtag it's all over Casanova. Oh my goodness, great. Okay, let's get our first guest on. Right, enough of our fun. Let's get someone on who gives us real value.
Let's do it. Who have we got, Nick? Who's coming onto the show first to join us here in the studio?
Absolutely delighted, mate. Lots of questions for the fascinating Deepamala Abeysekera.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Deepamala. How are you, and how is Florida this very early in the morning?
Oh, yes, it's very early in the morning. It's around like 3 a.m. in Florida right now. Yes.
So you work in the startup technology world, so you're probably used to late nights, early mornings. I have a picture of startups, right? Everyone's at their desk from midnight until 6 a.m. So what's going on in the world of startups?
Yeah, so I think every day something new is happening, and it's a very interesting space to be in, because it's all about innovation and finding what is really working and how to add value. So yeah, it's very interesting.
So Deepamala, we met up about 2 weeks ago, just to get a bit of background, because when you're beaming in from Florida, we want to make sure that we maximize our time together. Quite often with our guests, we kind of do a lot of that communication kind of via email, and they fill in, as you did as well, a survey. But we decided to reach out, have that conversation, and make sure that we can offer maximum value for you and our listeners who are joining and watching us. And it was really interesting, because we're going to talk a little bit more about it in a second, but the Two-Way Me platform, one of the things you said, get yourself signed up before the show. And we'll talk more about it. So we'll describe what the platform is, and so we'll let you talk about what the platform does and how it works. So Nick and I did. We signed up. So just let you know, we are signed up. We are active on the platform. I must admit, I procrastinated, and it didn't happen until yesterday afternoon. But I'm on there. I'm ready, roaring to see how it works. But talk a little bit more about the platform. Talk about how you come up with the idea and what it's going to do. So Two-Way Me, what is it all about?
Yes, so Two-Way Me is a platform where people can meet any interesting person, life-changing person, and a person who can give coaching, consultancy. But the critical feature here is that it is for video meetings. So I would like to think for you all to think about it as like like a video application like Zoom, meeting Calendly, meeting PayPal or Stripe. What it means is that anybody can be available on the platform if they're willing to give consultancy or coaching or inspire somebody, or ready to collaborate, like say for example David, Nick, for this chat show. If you're looking for guests and you're interviewing guests to be on the show, and possibly anybody interested can also reach you via Two-Way Me, and you can do your selection process. So there are multiple ways you can use it, but the core of it is it's a video video online, live, one-on-one video meetings. And if the host wishes, they can also monetize it. So instant monetization is attached to all the video meetings. So the host or the consultant or the coach who is on there really do not have to chase a client to make the payment. It can all be on the one place, like it's a one-stop shop where you can book, get your clients to book you, and also do instant monetization and also provide a lot of value.
Wow.
So we know the future is video. Okay, much to my disappointment that face-to-face is either not achievable, not in fashion, or not safe. So the world has moved and has been moving for some considerable time to a video meet environment, and this just kind of matches what you're looking for in a coach or a support network or an interest, and just puts all the pieces together. It makes it very easy to connect and have a conversation with someone that's got the skills, knowledge, or interests that you're looking for. And David, you've signed up. Well, I have too, but we've got an image of you looking loud and proud, mate, on the platform. There you are, absolute dapper. Look at
There I am, yeah.
Grey-haired bombshell.
Yeah, no, it just shows I need a bit of a haircut these days. But yeah, so that's me. Really easy process, I will say, to sign up to it. I just went to the Two Way Me Go website and popped in, sign up now. A few questions. It's a bit like signing up for most other sort of social media platforms. You know, it's a name, a username, a password, an email address. Upload your bio photo, a short description. You can obviously add a lot more information, social channels and stuff like that. So overall, it probably took me less than 10 minutes, and that was me having to think about certain bits and pieces. But really, yeah, really easy. So I'm on the platform now. I know you're on it as well, Nick. And we'll see how that kind of pans out. So we'll certainly feed back to you, Deepamala, how that works. But what we have a very short video, which we'll quickly roll now, because it's a really nice video, and I think it really does showcase how the platform works and how it can benefit everybody. So let's have a look at it in action.
Passion. It keeps you going. Anywhere, everywhere. You are unstoppable. Dream big and bold. You are exceptional. A coach, a guru, an influencer, or a companion like no other. You've got talent and a heart that beats. The world is ready to meet you. Experience the next generation one-on-one video meetings. Two-way me. Two-way your talent. Two-way the dreams. Two-way for fitness. Two-way in private. Two-way to consult. Two-way and inspire. TwoWayMe.com. Join free and make your call. Two-Way Me. Now.
Great video. Great. You know, inspiring stuff, right? And I totally get it. Totally get it. Last night on the late night show, we had young lady in a sick form, Katie Glover, launched a business, tuition business, sick formers, tutoring those people that are wow, what was her phrase, David? Because I've not heard it before. Her phrase was neurodivergent. So those people that are struggling kind of up here, I guess. And this platform will just lend itself to taking that business on a global level. All the barriers, all the borders seem to have disappeared, and we can now communicate with anyone we wish. That's smart thinking, Deepamala. This clearly isn't your first tech foray. This business is sometime in the making, is it?
Yes, so in Stage U, we have been working with a lot of projects, again, video based, and our forte has been video on demand. So because the fact that the pandemic was recent, but we have been in this space for a long time on the space of in the space of video on demand. So the technology we have come up with for quite some time is interactive video on demand, and we have been doing multiple projects across multiple verticals, from education to entertainment to healthcare, etc., where video can be used for very effective communication, and also interactive video can be used for very effective communication. So yeah, 2ME is the latest venture, but we have been in the space of interactive video on demand for some time.
Yeah, amazing. I've got here kind of, we ask all our guests to kind of give us a bit of background. What an amazing journey you've had. I want you to talk about it, but let's just give a couple of little pointers here. Silicon Valley. I mean, it's my dream to go. I love tech. To go there and to rub shoulders with some of probably the most amazing people in the world when it comes to design, tech, and thinking outside of the box. Las Vegas for Zappos, what a company to work with and for. United, the UN HQ for the UN Global Compact in New York City. I mean, this is a history of experience, knowledge, unbelievable. Tell us what you got up to in Silicon Valley. That's where I want to. That's what I'm interested in.
So yeah, now me and my co-founder, Dr. Indora Virakodi, what happened was, it was a search and exploration for knowledge and how to make things happen. So, David, like you said, it has been a long journey. So we did travel the world to many startup destinations and startup ecosystems. From you were right, from Silicon Valley to even like San Diego, Chile, to UK, and of course I need to mention the Cambridge in UK, where you guys are right now, because that is all where it started when I was reading from my entrepreneurship in University of Cambridge at the Judge Business School. And Professor Alan Barrell, one of my close mentors now, and also he's a head of the advisory board of 2ME. So he's the one who introduced me to both of you. So I need to thank him for the connection and introduction. So I met Professor Alan Barrell also in Cambridge and Silicon Fen. So another very highly vibrant tech startup ecosystem. So from Cambridge to all the startup destinations we've traveled to, from Australia, Inspire 9, and then also the Asian regions, some regions in India, Malaysia, Singapore, like I told you, Startup Chile in Santiago and Silicon Valley. Then, of course, where I'm based in Florida. So it was a pursuit of knowledge and experience and ability to understand how startups work, how an idea can, through iterations, penetrate the world of matter and basically start adding value to people. So that was a constant search for knowledge, experience, and ability while we were also doing projects, sometimes enterprise, sometimes B2C, sometimes B2B, where we were testing our technology with multiple audiences across the world. There was a couple of projects we implemented that required about 90 people from 92 states participating. And so it has definitely been an interesting journey. Yes, it has been a very interesting journey.
Just this seems to be the future, right? So all of that knowledge, all of that experience, all these destinations, you look at them thinking, wow, what a journey. But it's a process of iteration, isn't it? So and this was mentioned yesterday in the late night show, that start something, see what the audience thinks. Okay, it's beta, we'll tweak it, we'll improve it, we'll move on. And it just seems like the tech world is not afraid to get stuck in and start somewhere and then see how the audience reacts. What's the feedback been so far for the latest project?
Yes, so we just launched Wellbeing actually a couple of days ago, and I think the homepage was launched just like a couple of hours ago. So we
Woohoo!
yeah, so it's hot, but we've had, as you see, there's many consultants, coaches, gurus, and tutors, and also investors, actors, a variety of people signing up, and that's actually very nice to see. And what I also understand is everybody is a unique personality, so who themselves have a very unique and vibrant journey and background, so their story is so unique to them that if somebody outside anywhere wants to collaborate with them, maybe for advice in that specific field, specific niche, maybe for inspiration, maybe for collaboration, maybe somebody is also looking for finding their next co-founder or next team member, there can be a variety of ways you want to collaborate on. So the range of profiles onto Wemi with from diverse range of industries and talent, who has their true story, I think is a very good way for people to connect. And here I just want to point out one difference between, say, other very popular sites we are always on, like from Facebook to Instagram and all that. Here the difference is that every person on Twimi will be accessible via a paid appointment. So sometimes, say for example, on Instagram or LinkedIn, you message people, but people with influence might not have the time to reply, or might not have the time to answer you back. But if they book you onto Wemi, and there is a price for your time because everybody is a busy person, but if you're willing to make that price and book that person, you get that undivided attention of that person for that duration. You block their calendar, so it's a direct connection, it's a direct link, and you can meet pretty much everybody that way if there is a willingness to share that time.
Yeah, no, it is I say I haven't got into the depths of it because obviously it's just been launched, hot off the press. You heard it first here, by the way, on Chatbox. We're good at that, Nick. We keep bringing all these, initiatives and innovation out of the woodwork, and we get, first stab at mentioning the great products that are coming to market. So thank you for allowing us to be your platform of choice to do that. But yes, Professor Alan Barrell, obviously our mutual connection, introduced us to yourself. 81 years young, a very multi-entrepreneurial individual, and a very, very great supporter of everything small business related. Hopefully he's watching this morning. And if you are, Professor Alan Barrell, thank you for introducing us to Deepamala, and no doubt we'll catch up soon. He has been on one of the shows previously where we had a 13-year-old entrepreneur and Alan, 81 years old, young, and we saw it from both ends of the spectrum. How amazing was that? But it's great to hear success stories like yours. You've put a lot of time, a lot of hard work and effort, and I would like to add multi-award winning as well. You picked up lots of awards and recognition over the years, which is fabulous. Nick loves talking about awards these days.
Woohoo!
There's lots of reasons to talk about. And there you go. You see, I knew if I gave him the opportunity, he would jump in and talk about it. And our next guest coming up shortly, we're also going to be talking about being award winners as well. We're getting close to time, so I think there's a couple of things we want to kind of just extract. Firstly, top business tip. We ask all our guests come on here, what is your top business tip that you've learned, maybe the hard way, for experience, knowledge? If you go back in time and tell your younger self, do this, what would it be? What would you share with our audience this morning?
Well, I would share that basically to find your passion. I think I cannot underestimate the importance of that, because there is no point doing anything artificially or like a show. So when you soul search, you find what your heart resonates with and what is your true calling. There is unlimited energy and unlimited will and determination. And that comes only when you tap into your deeper self and deeper soul and ask what your heart resonates with. Because you really, really need that unlimited passion and the ability to hold on and resilience to do that process of iteration, just like Nick spoke about. I think every business and every startup, everything is also about iteration. That also means that you put something to the market and you look at the market feedback, and everything is variable. So you adjust the variables. It's a scientific process. So you just see what works and what doesn't work, and you have to go on and hold on and go on. So a prerequisite for the process of iteration and innovation is having passion, because when you're operating from a zone of passion, life becomes beautiful.
Find your passion. Absolutely right. And that seems to run through most of the conversations we have with those massively engaged and energetic business owners. So Deepamala, it sounds like what a roller coaster and exciting journey you're on, taking video interaction to a whole new level, and connecting all those videopreneurs together. Be delighted to kind of keep a view on how things progress, to keep the conversation going. And as David said, him and I are both on the platform. We'll get Chatbox on the platform as well. Anything that encourages more conversations, I'm a big fan of. So thank you ever so much indeed for your time and getting up at 2 or whatever time o'clock it is in the morning over in Florida. I hope the sun will shine on you. And if people want to get hold of you, is the best way the website?
Yes, so they can find me on tuemi.com. They can type the name, or of course LinkedIn, and my email deepamala@stageo.tv. Phone number +1 954 776 2682. So there's multiple ways, and we are very much open for collaboration. And so Tuemi is just launched, and we would like the early adopters, the innovators, the ones who want to really get in there first, because I think it's like a new land. It's like when it is a new land, of course, the first mover advantage counts. And the first movers are also privileged because they get the royal treatment, because we want to work with them closely to understand how to get the best value. So we're very open for collaborations and any communication.
Fabulous. So ladies and gentlemen out there, get yourselves on Tuemi and explore the future of video entrepreneurs. Thank you, Deepamala. Much appreciated.
And thank you, Nick, so much for having us, and really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deepamala. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's great, mate. What a great start. What a fabulous idea as well. Take the video, which is, seems to be working for the globe, take it even further. Brilliant.
We're all on video these days in one way, shape or form, whether we're Zooming or whether we're, using other platforms like Microsoft Teams and Google Hangout. But of course, if you are someone that wants to provide expertise, knowledge and skills, and there's a chargeable element for that. Most of these platforms don't allow that unless you go through another payment process first and then obviously do that call. This is all bringing it all into one. It's just such an awesome idea. And I wish her all the best with the startup. I'm sure it's going to be one of those that booms and probably gets noticed by some of the big players out there and kind of sucked up. And I like to think we had something to do with that, Nick. They saw it here first.
It'll get noticed now, mate. It will get noticed now. This is the launch pad that businesses need. I like to think.
Yeah.
And talking of video, right? Some of us video from home, some video from the office, some video from our cars because we're on the road. Our next guests, we've got 2 guests coming up. Very, very excited. Lots to ask, and very kindly. One of our particular guests is on the road. So technology is doing us a favor and allowing us to communicate. Doesn't matter where we are. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. But what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick ad break. And when we come back, we'll get our next guests onto the show. Yes,
Very
thank you.
excited, mate. Very excited to introduce our next guests. So much to ask. So, ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Open your eyes, open your mind, open your ears. Let's have some conversations with the lovely Carola Becker and Dr. Vikki Barnes.
Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
What we're going to do, I'm bannering you up at the bottom. That's very unfair of me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do that. That's better, isn't it? Now we can see all of you in full glory. So good morning and welcome to you both.
Thank you. It's brilliant to be here.
Yeah, no, great to have you.
Very exciting.
Yeah, Dr. Vikki Barnes, you're sitting there, obviously on the road, as Nick said. It's great as technology, communication allows us to do it. Just out of interest, where are you in the country?
I'm in Exeter and just about to go to an event which starts right after your show. So I'm dedicated, to put it that way.
If you're late, just blame it on Nick and I. They will absolutely understand, I promise you.
This time last week, I was in Exeter. This time last week, Exeter, did the show from the hotel, jumped in the car up to the racecourse for the event. Yeah. Bang, on stage, human communication. It was great. Exhausting, but great. So let's talk all things nutrition and well-being and the collaboration of you two superb minds. Carola, would you like to start us off? Who are you? What is it you do? And how did this collaboration come about?
Yeah, I would love to, because Vikki and I mean, this is just one of those meetings where we just met and said, okay, fine, yeah, this is it. We have to do something together. Just quick about myself before I get carried away about our amazing cooperation. My name is Carola Becker. I run a corporate well-being business, working with companies and corporates, helping teams to work better, be more productive and less stressed by using nutrition and fitness and activity to get that done. I've teamed up with Vikki because we met at an event where we both spoke. And afterwards we said, you know what? We're talking about the same topics here, but just from different angles. We should do something together. And that was the start of our really beautiful friendship and working relationship, where we said we have to do something because we can really take our combined knowledge, the things we're talking about, and help people in beautiful surroundings. And that was the idea, to create retreats for people who really want to make a difference on their mindset, on their performance, to ensure lasting benefits, basically.
What's not to like? Already, I'm very, very excited. And Vikki, what? So, Carola, you come from a nutrition and corporate well-being, more productive, less stressed background. And Vikki, what do you add to the mix?
I'm a clinical psychologist by profession, so I'm my bread and butter, and I've worked in the NHS for many years, doing things that you'd imagine clinical psychologists do, so lots of mental health and different with different kind of patient groups. And so I kind of went from this very patient-focused, mental health-focused setting to a corporate well-being in the workplace, working with leadership teams and executives about how to keep their staff happy. And then 2.5 years ago, I set up my own business, which is called Positive Wellbeing. And that's all about bringing those two experiences together, really, to look after mental health in the place. So my passion is positive psychology. So it's not about waiting until you get sick before you do something about it. It's very reactive, and that's the way mental health services can. What I do is very much about putting small, effective techniques into your day-to-day so that you can build resilience and make sure that you've got those positive techniques so that when things do happen, because life happens, right? We're all wise enough to know that by now. We're kind of ready for it, and we're a bit more, we're further up so that we can kind of put those strategies in place to help ourselves feel better. That's what I do now, and I work with companies across the world to look after their staff and put their people first, make sure that they're putting preventive measures in place. And the retreats is a big part of that. Exciting.
Well, we'll talk about the retreat in a second. Just the fact that I'm a massive fan of positive psychology, and the fact you just said people first hugely resonates. We've been surrounded by news stories where too many organizations profit first, people don't care. All right, we're just focused on the profits. And ironically, it's Social Enterprise Day today, celebrating all of those enterprises that profitable and non-profitable that serve the community. Very much a people first philosophy. I'm a massive fan. And it sounds like what a perfect combination, right? Get these two skill sets together and take people away, corporates and probably individuals away, to then focus on the stuff that really matters: well-being, nutrition, mindset, positivity, and happiness, which we will talk about in a second. Any good, these retreats? Are the audience like them?
I think so. I mean, to be honest, when we ran our first one, it was in October last year, just between lockdowns. We were so lucky that we were able to run it, and we said, "Come on, let's just give it a go and see what happens." And I remember, Vikki, like it was yesterday, when we stood on the terrace afterwards, when everybody had just left and everybody had given us such amazing and encouraging feedback and testimonials. And we were in awe that we had the chance to help people make these changes. It was absolutely priceless. I said, "Oh my God, they really liked it." Could you believe this?
Did you high five each other afterwards? You must have done it.
Oh,
You must
yes.
have been big high fives. And of course, a chink of the glasses as well.
Well, careful. It's Wellbeing. We're very, very careful with alcohol. There's chink of.
I didn't say what was in the glass. It could have been fruit juice.
But definitely. And are we allowed to brag because we are fellow award winners?
God, I hope so.
We're going to come on to that anyway. So tell us about your awards.
I tell you what, Carola, if we're not allowed to brag, I'm in big trouble. Big trouble. Brag as much as you wish.
Come on, Vikki, your turn.
Right, so you put the brag in there, and then I have to go and do it.
Hand over the back.
Excellent. Yeah, we won an award for our very first retreat, which was quite incredible for us. And I think we're both quite humble people, actually, which is why when we did this retreat, it was very much a test. It was a pilot for us. Let's see how it goes. We really enjoy working together. As Carola said, we're just really passionate about people's well-being. And I think, personally, I like working with people who have the same morals and values as me. And I think we're really on board with that. And we do genuinely care about people. However, that doesn't always mean good business, right? Sadly, we were just really lucky that in our world, our passions and our genuine morals and values about making people feel better and bringing good into their lives, and that's at the same time we happen to do well, and as Carola said, get this really good feedback, and all of our guests were raving, and we get requests to do more retreats. You know, we try and put on what we can to suit our guests. We got this award for the first one, and I think we just couldn't really believe it. We were so excited, and we got together and had a little party and some selfies, just the two of us. It was really nice moment.
Was you allowed a glass of sparkly then when you got together and celebrated, or was you still being very healthy, conscious, and smoothies? Go on, tell us. Be honest.
Well, we had a glass of kombucha, if that counts. It's bubbly.
It's kind of a little bit further along, yeah. What's next?
Yeah. Joking aside, I think for us the most exciting thing about our retreats is that we have a chance to build something with a little bit of a twist, because we think that well-being should happen in our lives on a day-to-day basis, and we're really trying to give people a whole bunch of ideas they can take away and can implement in their lives pretty much immediately. in my world about nutrition, it's not about fancy ingredients you've never heard before and you have to scour for hours on the internet to get something fancy. It's more about knowing what works together, what your body needs, what your brain needs to really work well. And this is not massively out of the ordinary things. It's just combining certain foods which really have an impact on your body and those sorts of things. And we believe in the fact that we give people something they can take away. We love those retreats where you sit in a sun lounger and sip champagne. Yeah, bubbly, I know. But the moment you sit in your car, all the relaxation and all the happiness is gone. And we're trying to give people something they can take away. And this is aimed at people who really need to have their brain in top condition. And that's what we're aiming for. But you have been asking what's next. There is a retreat coming up. Yippee! We have been forced to run another retreat in November. Oh, the sacrifice. Because our guests asked us to. So we're back at the beautiful Pentilly Castle, which is near Plymouth, down on the border of Devon and Cornwall. From the 25th to the 27th of November. So it's not far. For 3 days of more positive psychology with Vikki, healthy nutrition, relaxed fireplace conversation, loads of time in nature. Autumn is an amazing time of the year. It's about snuggling up and getting wrapped up and explore this time of the year. And we're so super excited that we'll run another retreat.
Sounds
I should just
awesome.
add to that. We are closing bookings, so probably at the end of today. So if any of your guests come, they need to book quick.
How do they book? How do they book? Quick! Tell us, and we will share.
So they can go to our website, so carolabecker.com or Deepamala.com, and all of the details are on our events and retreat pages there.
So carolabecker.com.
Yeah. And it's drvikkibarnes.com. Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you for that.
David,
Brilliant.
you are slick, mate. You are slick. You know what's coming. You can predict the future. You're the perfect host, my friend. I just want to chat, but you've got it all nailed. And you build these as a wellbeing retreat with a twist, right? A few places left. So the 25th to the 27th of November, right? Can't be many places left. First thing I did when I heard about this, opened up the diary, right? My old-fashioned paper diary. Can't make it, gutted. Okay, but no doubt. I need 2 spaces, by the way. The next one, just let me know when that is likely to be, and put me down for a couple of spaces on that, because it sounds blooming awesome. In a world that every single business I've spoken to has had a tough journey over the last 2 years. Every relationship that I've come across has had a tough journey over the last 2 years. Every individual that I've spoken to has had a tough time over the last 2 years. We need a bit of happiness. We need a bit of well-being. We need to give our mindsets a positive injection. And in the meantime, Vikki, we could always buy your book. Is that right? How cool is this, right? It just gets better and better.
That's amazing. Wow.
So
I feel like
if
I
you
want
can't
to do
go
the
to
weather
the retreat,
reporter thing and point to it.
So I had a look. It looks amazing. Available, no doubt, on all the famous booksellers, but the one online that we maybe like or don't like. Looks fantastic. Great feedback already. This will keep me going until I can get onto a retreat. And I want to ask all sorts of questions about what's it like working with Richard Branson. What sort of dancing have you been up to? What went on in the Virgin Islands? Just what a rich tapestry of backgrounds and experiences you both have.
Oh, we could talk to you all day usually about that, and get Carola or I on a story and we will chat away. And that's what's great about our relationship, because we do that. We catch up for 20 minutes and for later we're still talking. I mean, from my point of view, I think sometimes I do pinch myself in terms of my career history, and definite highlight spending time with Sir Richard Branson, his wonderful self on Necker Island and in the British Virgin Islands. And I was out there to support the health of Hurricane Irma survivors, and then I just realised that they actually taught me as much as I did for them. I really do think that they were amazingly resilient people, very hopeful people, very optimistic, and it taught me a lot about humans. And no matter what you've been through, there are certain things that we all want, there are certain basic needs that we all need meeting, and those are the kinds of things that I try and get into all of the work that I do and the retreat. At the end of the day, no matter where you come from, what you've been through, we're human and we have lots of things. We all want to be happy, and that's why the book is all about happiness. It's not saying you're going to be smiling and feel ecstatic every moment of the day, of course not, but there are certain food and mindset techniques that you can put in place, and as Carola said, these are really small, simple, effective things. It's not difficult, but it is scientific, and we've got the science nailed. Like, we're such brain and science geeks. We just love working out how does it actually work, how does it your brain chemistry, what does this gratitude practice or this 3 good things or kindness, what does it add to the chemistry of your brain, and what does eating certain foods with others do to your brain, and how does this make you feel better? And I think that, you know, I was so focused when I went out to the British Virgin Islands on the hurricane and post-trauma, natural disaster trauma, that I lost sight of, for a moment when I was on the plane, I lost sight of just this element of happiness. And as soon as they reminded me a million times over, actually, we want what everybody else wants. We want to be happy, we want to be safe, we want to be loved, we want to be heard, what people want. And when we look at people in organisations, it's not just about us as individuals at home, this is us in communities and groups and teams. We want to be heard, we want to feel safe, we want to be looked after, we want to be cared for by our managers, by our colleagues, by our partners, by our parents, by our families, by our friends. You know, that's all we want at the end of the day. And it's so simple. You know, this is just human behaviour, and what can we do for ourselves and what can we do for each other? Carola and I try to bring all of our retreats into this lovely package that is, okay, you can go ahead now and live your best life. And yes, things will happen, you'll have ups and downs, but you'll always have things in your back pocket to use when you need them.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So we're coming very close to having to say goodbye. I know, Vikki, you've got somewhere else to be very shortly as well. We can't make you late, otherwise we'll be in trouble for that. But we want to finish on a kind of your top tips. And great, we've got 2 of you here. So 2 great tips coming up. You've given us lots, by the way. But we always ask our businesses, our owners, our guests, when they come onto the show, to share a top tip that they've learned through life or through their startup phases. What would that be for both of you? Carola, do you want to go first and tell us your top business tip?
I think the main thing I have learned, not only over my career, but especially over the last year and a half I have been working with Vikki, and we're doing so much together, is in the same way you can feed and train your body, you can feed and train your mind as well, because it's all interconnected. If you want to concentrate better, you will at the same time do something for your mental well-being. If you look after your gut health, you will automatically look after your brain health. And everything you do in one part of your life will have an effect on another part of your life. And I think it's always super interesting to see how much better you can feel if you give it a go, because it just doesn't happen overnight, but your body will be more resilient, your mind will be more resilient if you look after yourself and if you look after your people. And this is what we try to help people understand and experience when they are working with us, no matter if in a retreat space or in terms of a well-being program we're running for companies.
Yeah, brilliant. And Dr. Vikki Barnes, what would be your top tip for our listeners and viewers this morning?
Well, I had one, but talking about my time in the British Virgin Islands, I think that I have of King Richard Branson and him treating me like any other human being, like an equal. He was so friendly, he was so kind, he wanted to know my life. And I remember being taxied in the islands by a wonderful gentleman right about on my boot. His name is Kuhn. I love him to bits. He was a 7-foot West Indian, dreads as tall as he was, and he said that the best thing about journey with me was the fact that I believed in him. I was kind and I smiled and I treated him like. And those two experiences for me, you've got 3 people here who are from different parts of the world, probably had very different experiences. We all appreciated that. And I don't know this for sure. I dare say that Richard himself just appreciated being treated like somebody that I was going for a hike with or having some food with. He just wanted to be treated like a human being. And I think the same. So in organisations, there are always hierarchies, whether we like it or not. And there are always teams, there are always roles and responsibilities. I think at the end of the day, we need to humanise the workplace. We're all people at the end of the day, and as I said before, with the same needs and wants. And I think if we just stop to remember that, we feel better, and we feel the respect and kindness, and everything follows from that.
What lovely positive messages. I have a warm glow across the airwaves for sure. So you know, that happiness, positivity, well-being, health, nutrition, it all makes perfect sense. And quite often we get lost in our own busy worlds and forget those basic essentials that realistically, when push comes to shove, that make the world go round. What a joy it's been to have you both on the show. Thank you very much for your time. I know it's precious. Wish you all the best with the retreat, 25th to 27th of November. Those lucky lot going down to what sounds like an idyllic location in Plymouth. If you're very quick, ladies and gents, you could be part of that experience. Get hold of Carola, get hold of Vikki, and sign up right now. And then let us know how it was. Let me know, especially what I've missed, because I definitely want to be on the next one.
No problem, Nick. You're on my list. I will not let you get off this list again.
Brilliant. And in the meantime, I'll be buying the book and having a good read. And it sounds like a great Christmas present for a number of people that I know would benefit from it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to both of you for having us on. We really appreciate the opportunity. It was lovely to meet you or see you again, Nick, in your case. I know you for quite a while. Thank you very much. We really, really loved being here.
Yeah, no, thank you to you both. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the conference, Vikki, and we'll catch up with you both very, very soon.
Thank you.
Bye
now.
Cheerio.
Right, it's time for this. Wow, there we go, Nick. Minutes to go before 9 o'clock. Another great breakfast show. Amazing guests coming on here, sharing their stories from Florida to Exeter, back into, well, not so sunny Essex. We've been already this morning. No doubt more of that to come on future shows. Of course, if you are interested in joining us, we've got a couple of dates. All of November is now booked. Early December is booked. We've got a couple of dates remaining in December. How can you get on to the show? Well, you can quite simply go to the website, chatboxproductions.com. Go on there and sign up online. You can email us if it's easier for you. hello@chatboxproductions.com, or pop it in the chat. Just say, hey, I'm interested. How do I get onto your show? And this is not a show we want people to come on and brag and talk about who they are, what they do, but we don't like it to be a sales show. We want conversation. We want storytelling. We want, how can you help people that are listening and watching and influence them maybe to get up and start their business or to push on forwards when times are tough. So if that's you, then we'll be absolutely welcome you with open arms.
Valuable lessons, mate. Valuable lessons. And there's another opportunity to catch up with you in the middle of December. Is that right? So some event that you're behind.
Absolutely. Some people will know me. I also wear a hat for the Federation of Small Businesses, the regional chair for the East of England. And on the 15th of December, I'll put the details on the screen in a second, we are running the largest ever business networking event in the UK for the FSB. We're looking at probably 1,000 plus businesses coming together on the 15th of December between 10 a.m. and 11:30. And it's all about networking. We've got some great speakers, but we're going to have lots of breakout opportunities for you to meet and support other small businesses. And of course, it's Christmas themed as well. So we're going to have a little bit of kind of wear your Christmas jumpers, put your best virtual backgrounds on. It's free to attend, regardless if you're a member or just a small business or a medium-sized enterprise, or maybe you're working within an organization, you want to come along and fly the flag. Sign up, great event, great fun. I'm hosting it with a co-host. We're going to have awesome fun delivering that for you. And just sign up online. I'll pop the link into the chats if you're interested in coming along.
Fantastic news, mate. Fantastic news. Lovely opportunity to have some more really powerful and valuable conversations. So that's it from us today. That's our time is spent. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for joining. Thank you to our lovely guests, Deepamala, Carola, and Vikki, for sharing your magic with us and the audience. Ladies and gents, we're back same time next week. Don't forget, if you're in the UK and beyond, Armistice at 11 a.m., 2 minutes of silence. We'll be thinking of the past and also thinking of the future.
Until then, see you next week. Bye-bye.